I can't tell you, I've lost count how many times that I've been like playing guitar and talking in a video, and then the screen goes black, and I realized I never clicked the start button. If I had a regular camera, I imagine I'd probably do it even more. At any rate, that's cool progression. I like it. It's kind of slow, 6/8, but I like that if you're in this position, it goes right up the neck. 6, I'm sorry, 4. Wait, right? Yeah. 4, 1, 5. Speaking of 415, today I wanted to talk about chord functions or chord function, how a chord in a key functions within that key. When I was learning music theory, there were all these hills that seemed insurmountable. Like, as I would start, they're like, oh, you got to learn this thing, and you go up this hill, and you struggle and struggle and struggle, or I would struggle. I'd get to the top, and I'd go, oh man, I understand it. I have that thing. And then I'd look, and there'd be another one. I'd go, oh my gosh. So back down, and then climb up that one. When I did chord function, it opened up a lot for me. It was like when I got to the top of that hill, there was like this huge meadow, or I don't know, it's like a Disney movie with birds and animals and dinosaurs and stuff. Like, it was like paradise. Like, I finally got somewhere, because now that I knew how the chords functioned, I could just sit down and make music. I could just pick a key, any of the 12 keys, and just make music because I understood how the chords related to each other. So I want to do a very small dive into that, um, to help you. If you don't know how chords function, then you can make your own music, and you don't need to play a song that someone else has written. You can just sit down and jam. It's the first time you're able to do that, just sit down and just play something. It's mind blowing. It's really freeing and addicting. You'll sit there for hours just playing stuff, and then you'll get to where you're recording snippets on your phone and getting into DAWs and trying to write songs. It's a big hole, but this is the beginning. So I'll simplify it. There are 3 types of chords in a key. There are the tonic. There are subdominants and dominants, and they all kind of relate to each other. So a tonic is that. It's just a tonic, right? That's like the root of the key, or something similar to the root of the key. The subdominant will want to lead to a dominant. It'll want to pull to a dominant. That's where it'll feel kind of at home. And the dominant always wants to go back to the tonic. So it's this circle. Okay, so we use the key of A, and I'll explain them. Obviously, the 1 is the tonic. The 3 is also a tonic, because the root of the third is the third of the first note. So that's a tonic. The 2 is a subdominant, so that's going to want to go to a dominant. The 4 is also a subdominant. 5 is a dominant. 6 is a subdominant. And then the 7 is a dominant. That's going to go to 1. Dominants want to go to the 1. Subdominants want to go to the dominant. And that's it. Okay. You can really go anywhere you want. There's really no rules. But the general guideline is what I said: subdominants to dominants, dominants to tonics. This is why a 1-4-5 works. 1 is the tonic. We'll do some fake blues to the subdominant. That wants to go to the dominant. Notice it goes back to the dominant because the dominant wants to resolve to the 1. The 4 can resolve to the 1, but it's nowhere near as strong as this. Right? You could do the same thing with the 2, right? So you could flip the 3 in there, so you could do tonic, subdominant, dominant, tonic again, but this time the 3. So dominant, now you'll notice the 3 is a tonic, right? But to me, it almost feels like it was to go to the 4, to the 5, to the 1. So the 3 is kind of, and it's called a mediant. I don't want to get into all that, but just know that it's considered part of the tonic. And really, that's it. Those are your chord functions. So if you can go, and you'll see things online and they'll have arrows, subdominants can go to subdominants, dominants can go to dominants, but dominants always want to resolve. You always want to resolve your dominant. Really, your only dominant is this 5, other than so for the diminished, I'm not going to get into diminished chords, but it's your other dominant that wants to pull. You really won't get into that. A little bit in jazz and blues, a lot in jazz, a little bit in blues, but really nothing else. So if you want to build your own chord progressions, and you understand that 1 is home, 5 always pulls to the 1, and the subdominants can kind of jump between each other. And you can go from a dominant to a subdominant to the 1. It's just not as strong. So see, versus and that's really it. Those are your 3 things. So if you can get a piece of paper or something, write those down. The 1, 3 are tonics, 2, 4, 6 are subdominants, 5 and 7 are dominants. And know that dominants go to 1, subdominants go to dominants. You can come up with some pretty cool chord progressions. I'm gonna go over one more because some might consider it slightly advanced. So let's jump to the key of D and do the 2, 5, 1. And it works because the 2 is the subdominant, the 5 is the dominant, and the 1 is the tonic. This is all over jazz, almost in every song, in different formats. So subdominant feels good. Subdominant. That was the 7. And it's, I'll show you an example and then I'll be done. So Autumn Leaves are 2, 5, 1s all over that song, but like they're 2-5-1s, but starting at a different spot inside the key. So that's 2-5-1, and then this is 2-5-1. So ha. Okay, last thing, circle of fifths. That 2-5-1 works, 1 because of chord function, 2 because of circle of fifths. Fifth, fifth. They're going in fourths. Jazz goes in fourths, but those are fifth. The D minor is the 5 of G. The G is the 5 of C. The F sharp diminished is the 5 of B. So all those fives kind of pull the you're going backwards, but maybe this is too complex. I'm trying to explain it on a simple level. You're going backwards, but it's still 5 chords. Those are still in a relation. They're dominant in relation to each other. So that would be the same. Remember when we did the? That's what we're doing. 5-4. Actually, 1-4. All right. Forget all that jazz stuff. I shouldn't have went there. The chord functions are tonic, subdominant, and dominant. And if you know those, you can go around and make your own chord progression. So I hope that helps if that's something you were starting to study but really weren't quite sure about, or that gets you pushed in the right direction. Forget all the autumn leaves stuff I did. I wasn't really ready to explain that intelligently. And I it's in my head, but I couldn't articulate it well enough. But if you wanted to learn autumn leaves, that's how you play it in the key of G. All right, see you later.